Hey guys, how's it going? I just got back from watching two movies right now. They were Star Wars and The Empire Strikes Back. I'm not calling them anything else. Forget the episode 5 or 4, the A New Hope stuff. That does not matter for me. That is far away, never to return. So yeah, I just watched the original editions. The ones that were taken from the laser discs, the one without all the special edition changes and all. Uh, but yeah, so I watched the original Star Wars, and I'd seen it before in the special edition way, and I also saw on YouTube all the different changes they made to it. So I know what's different about it in the special edition, but I thought I should just watch the original edition anyway, and just to see if it really is as great as I'm thinking in my mind. It is. It totally is. This is one of the best movies ever made by far, and it's not because it's really exciting or it's so much action everywhere or effects or it's mind blowing. I mean, it is, but there's more to it. First of all, the action scenes are really good in this movie. The way they're executed, the way they're paced, the way they're in the story, they add to it. They don't take away from it. That's a really great thing to do. And the story itself is a really interesting one. I mean, it's pretty simple of a story, but it's well done and it's well executed, and I really like that. Also, the dialogue is great. This is like an all new kind of way of making dialogue for movies, and oddly enough, it's done by George Lucas, who would later do lines like, "I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here." I'll reference that again in my Attack of the Clones review. But anyway, the dialogue's great in this movie. I loved it. I love the characters. They're the best part about the movie by far. I love the action and the effects, but the characters are it. That is what I care about. Because any action scene, at least in a Star Wars movie, any action scene whatsoever, any action scene, what makes it great is not the way it's executed, not the way that it just goes right in your face. Because while those things can be necessary sometimes, like you do want to see the action, but more importantly, you need to have characters that you care about or are at least likable. These characters you do care about. I mean, you don't know a huge amount about them, but you know just enough to care about them. And that's what's so great about the characters in Star Wars. The Star Wars characters are the best, at least in this movie. The best thing about it by far. Let me tell you a few characters who I like in the movie. Basically every character is great in this movie, but I'm just going to name a few. There's Han Solo, Chewbacca, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, C-3PO, R2-D2, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's definitely more, but those are just the ones I can think of on the top of my head. Okay, so yeah, those are all great characters, and they're so interesting in their ways. You just care about all of them. There's humor to them, which is necessary for human characters. Not like those guys in the prequels who are always so stale and boring. Those aren't people. Those are about as lifelike as the CGI creatures in the prequels, except for Jar Jar Binks. I mean, I'll get to that later. But yeah, so the original Star Wars is exciting. I love the action scenes. The trench run at the end is still mind-blowing. It's one of the best action scenes I've ever seen. It's incredibly made. I love this movie. I love the action sequences. I love the way the story goes. I love the direction. Love the writing. Love the dialogue. I love the costume design. Like the cantina scene is awesome with the music and all of the creatures there. And then the big conversation between all of the characters, and then Greedo and Han, and of course, Han shot first. No question about that. But yeah, so that's a great scene. It really shows how great the costume design is in this movie. Like, especially for Chewbacca, that is great costume design. And of course, I have to talk about the music in this movie. It's some of the best music ever written, not just for movies, but everywhere. It's great music. I love it. I can listen to it at any time. I hum it all the time, sing it. I do it in front of as many people as I want because it's awesome. Some people call me, like, maybe a little bit of a nerd because I like Star Wars so much. I don't care. It's an awesome thing. So I'm a nerd for it. Why should I care? Something that I love, and I'm just expressing it, really. So yeah, Star Wars is awesome. Love everything I just mentioned. Anything else to talk about? Well, yeah, there's a lot of other things to talk about, but I don't want to go into too much detail. You know basically why I love this movie if you watch it. It's a great movie. One of the best ever made. Never watch the special edition. That sucks. Watch the original edition if you can find it. That's the best choice. And until you can, just try to stay away from it. It is the best. And if I have to say one last thing, I will say I love all the quotes in it, like "May the Force be with you," and that's all I can think of right there. But there is one other one. One of my favorite things from the movie. Oh man, I just remembered it. It's I find your lack of fate disturbing. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. But anyway, my favorite quote from the movie is in the lightsaber battle between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. I'll get to that in a second. When Darth Vader just comes in and he just says, "The circle is now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master." And then Alec Guinness just goes like, "Only a master of evil, Dart." And that lightsaber battle, it's still my favorite one of all of the Star Wars movies. I don't care what people say about it. It's not great because it's all flipping around and stuff. No, it's great because it's interesting, it's well shot, well edited. There's great acting thanks to Alec Guinness, who was Oscar nominated for the role, one of the best actors of all time. And it's just so emotional because basically every other fight in the Star Wars movies does not have a huge amount of emotion in it. Nearly all of the prequel fights have zero emotion. The fight at the end in Revenge of the Sith does have some emotion at the beginning, but then all the style in it with the effects and stuff just takes away from any emotion. The one in Empire Strikes Back, yes, it's great to see Luke fighting against Darth Vader, and yes, there is some emotion in there, but they don't even know each other. They know what kind of people they are, and that big reveal. The reveal is after the lightsaber battle, so it doesn't really have anything to do with it. So yeah, you can't really give it credit for that. You have to. That's a separate thing. But yeah, so the lightsaber battle between them is great, but it's just not as emotional as before. And the lightsaber battle at the end of Return of the Jedi is emotional, but again, they hardly know each other. They just know that they're related, and that's it. They don't know each other that well. And yeah, I know Luke might turn to the dark side and all that, but still, it's not as emotional as this, in my opinion. And the one, The Force Awakens, I know it's been months, but I don't want to spoil too much. I just think that there is some emotion in it, but again, not as much as this. This is the most emotional fight in the Star Wars saga. I love it. I love this movie. This movie is awesome. One of the best movies ever made by far. And of course, how can I not give this movie an 11 out of 10? Yeah, it's just an exceptional movie like that. I have to give it that rating. Okay, so I'll have my reviews for the other ones soon. Next one will be Empire Strikes Back. I'll do that really soon because I just saw it. So, as always, you don't have to go while you got Timo.